Welcome all. I am P. Navya, pursuing BSc third year MPCS at TTWRDC Women's Kothagudem. Today I am here to deal with the concept of electric charge and electric field. So, this is a concept in the field of electromagnetism. So, Electromagnetism is the fundamental forces in nature. Electromagnetism is responsible for the study of electrics and magnetics. So it studies the structure of organic, inorganic and the matter. Electromagnetism, the word itself deals with the electricity, magnetism and also includes the optics. So we for every quantity it is rated. So from this so here Here there are some concepts in the field of electromagnetism. There are charge, force, field, potential, current and so on. So here every quantity is rated or measured with its own property of measurements. That means fundamental quantities, other units, derived quantities. For the further calculations will be done by using these units. So here we are observing that electrostatics. Electrostatic, it is the study of static charges, means constant charges. Here we are observing that a plastic comb and a bits of paper. Take a plastic comb and a bits of paper and bring near to it. Means before taking and attracting that papers to the that comb, here first rub your comb to your hair for some time, then the bits of paper, then take it to the those bits of paper. So that bits of paper are attracted to the comb because of comb is electrically charged by rubbing with your hair. And how the electric charge is, it is a property of matter that causes it to experience an electrostatic force when near the other electrically charged objects are placed. So here we are observing in the picture that silk and a glass rod are placed together. Some materials to attract electrons more than others. That means the charge is of two types, the protons and the positive charge is the protons and the negative charge are the electrons. So how this transfer of charge takes place means when rubbing the glass rod with the silk cloth, the glass rod will become positively charged. How does happen? That means the silk cloth when placed in contact with the rod will attract the negative charges, that means electrons, or more strongly. Electrons are pulled off the glass onto the silk. This is how the charge transfers. As the glass and the silk are insulators, the charge sticks on them as they stay put. Here we are observing that charges are transferring. So finally the glass and the silk are the insulators. Charge stuck as they put stay. And this slide gives that the positive charge and the positive charge, like charges will be repel each other. Next, here he observed that history of the electric charge. That means in 600 BC, Thales of Miletus, of one of the founders of Greek science, discovered that if a piece of amber is rubbed with woolen cloth, it attracts the light, feathers, dust particles, lint, pieces of leaves, etc. So he found that the The piece of amber is rubbed with a wooden cloth and the other light particles will be attracted to it. And in 1600 AD, electric bodies repel as well as attract. That means William Gilbert, the personal doctor of Queen Elizabeth I, made a scientific analysis of substances that behave like amber. And in fact, the Greek name for the amber is electron, Elektron, which is the origin of the electron, Electron, and the other related words are electric charge, electricity, electric force, etc. So this amber is yellow colored resinous like gum substance which is abundant on the shores of Baltic Sea. In the same way, the other scientists also made efforts on the concepts and the properties which is shown. In the 1735 AD, Dufay, two distinct types of electricity, and in 1770 Coulomb's inverse law, that is also briefly explained further. So electric charges are of, here we have some points to recall the electric charge. Electric charge, it is the property of matter that causes it to experience an electrostatic force when near other electrically charged objects are placed. So for example, we have seen that take a plastic comb and the bits of paper and rub that comb with your hair for a few seconds, and then take it near to the bits of paper, and those are attracted. Since the property of electrically charged gaining by the comb by rubbing your hair. So the electric charge is measured with coulombs. So electric charge is the property of matter that causes it to experience an electrostatic force when near other electrically charged objects are placed. The electric charge is measured in terms of coulombs in SI units, and it is denoted by C. So here we have that positive charges and negative charges. So what are positive charges and what are negative charges? So positive charges, a body is said to be positively charged if it loses electrons. For example, a glass rod acquires the positive charges when rubbed with a silk cloth. The charge of a proton is 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. And negative charge, a body is said to be negatively charged if it gains electrons. If it loses electrons, it is positive charge, and if it gains an electron, it is negative charge. And for example, a rubber rod acquires the charges when rubbed with fur. So the charge of an electron is minus 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. And we know that from earlier on, we know that like charges will be repel each other, and unlike charges attract each other. So charges travel in conductors and not in insulators. And the force of attraction repulsion is directly proportional to 1 by r square. So So here we are having some basic properties of charges. The first is quantization of charge. The quantization of charge was first suggested by the experimental laws of electrolysis discovered by Faraday. It was experimented demonstrated by R.A. Millikan. Millikan's oil drop experiment has shown that the electric charges accumulated on the oil drop is made up of integral multiples of a certain minimum electric charge, and this minimum electric charge is denoted by electron. E is equals to 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 C. And next is law of conservation of charge. The total charge in an isolated system remains constant. So electric charge is neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be transferred from one material to the other. This is known as law of conservation of charge. And next is additivity of charges. The total charge of a body is the algebraic sum of all the charges on the body. While adding the charges, their signs must be taken into the consideration. And we are also having more properties of charges. Quantities of induced and inducing charges are equal in the case of conductor. Stationary charges are not affected by magnetic fields. So here Q is the charge, and it is taken as 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. So the positive charges and the negative charges are described. Next, we know that Coulomb's law or inverse square law. That means in the year 1785, a French colonial scientist, Charles Augustin de Coulomb, experimentally measured the mutual interaction between the two stationary charges with a torsion balance. He formulated his observations in the form of Coulomb's law or inverse square law. This deals with the force of a point charge on the another point charge. Means a charge is that is on a body whose dimensions are much smaller than the surrounding dimensions. The Coulomb's law or inverse square law states that the force of attraction or repulsion between two stationary point charges is directly proportional to the of magnitude of the two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So here from the figure we are having that Q1 and Q2 are the two charges, and F12 be the force of attraction or repulsion, and R12 be the distance between the 2 point charges, and F is directly proportional. From the definition we are having that force of attraction or repulsion directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So by that we get that force of attraction or repulsion is directly proportional to Q1 and Q2, and it is inversely proportional to R12 square. So we get that, and by removing the proportionality we get that epsilon K is equals to F is equals to K into Q1 Q2 by R12 square. So K is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and its value is 9 into 10 to the power of Newton meter square Coulomb inverse square. And in the medium, and the epsilon 1 by 4 pi epsilon, it is in the absence in the absence of medium, and it is means in the free space. And in Coulomb's law in the medium, it is F is equals to 1 by 4 pi K into Q1 Q2 by R square. So epsilon naught is the permittivity of the medium. So hence the Coulomb's law is derived. Next we have electric field. The electrostatic force of attraction interaction exists between any two point charges even without any direct contact between them, called a action of a substance. The action of one charge at a distance can be explained by the concept of electric field. Here we can consider that a positive charge q at a point, and it is assumed that Q produces an electric environment in the surrounding space. The electrical environment produced by the electric charge is the electric field. So here we can observe that Q is the source charge, and the next in the figure C we get that the Q is the test charge. So electric field exists in the region surrounding in a given point charge or a group of point charges, so that the test charge when placed at any point in this region experiences either attractive or repulsive force. Charge. The intensity of electric field or the electric field strength is defined as the force experienced by a free unit positive charge placed at that point. F is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 q2 by r1 r square into here E is equal to F by Q. F is the force, Q is a charge. So it is directly proportional. So removing that, K is equals to Q into Q by R square by small q. So single point charge and the single point charge is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by R square. So the intensity of electric field due to capital Q at a point which is at the distance r from the charge q is E is equals to 1 by 4 q by r square. And the force on a point charge in an electric field F is equals to Q charge into electric field E. So if the electric fields E1, E2, E3 and so on En represents the intensities of the electric field due to the charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on Qn respectively at a given point. Based on the principle of the superposition of electric fields, we get that E is equals to E1 plus E2 plus so on E1. That means vectorial sum of E1, E2 and E3 and so on. Electric field lines. Michael Faraday 1791 to 1867 has introduced the concept of lines of force to visualize the nature of the electric field in a given region. A line of force in an electric field is an imaginary line or arc along with a free isolated unit positive charge will move. The tangent drawn at any point on the line of force gives the direction of the field at that point. That means it may be an isolated positive charge, it may be an isolated negative point charge, two equal and opposite point charges, or two equal positive point charges. So the figure denotes that it attracts and it repels. That means from the positive charges it moves, and towards negative charges it attracts. So in a uniform electric field, the lines of force will be equidistant and parallel and straight lines and directed. So here we are having the properties of electric fields of lines. Here we have many properties of electric lines of force. So the tangent to the force at any point gives the direction of electric field at that point. The number of lines of force per unit area of cross section at any point is proportional to the magnitude of the electric field strength E at that point. The lines of force always diverge out from a positive point charge and converge into a negative point charge. The number of electric lines of force passing through an area held perpendicular to the field is known as electric flux through that region. And so electric dipole, a pair of two equal and unlike point charges separated by a finite distance apart constitute a electric dipole. The two equal and opposite point charges plus q and minus q placed at point A and point B at a distance L from the point O constitute the electric dipole. So here we are having the point charge P and the positive charge plus Q and the negative charge minus Q. So here the electric dipole moment is a vector quantity. The direction of dipole moment is along the pointing from the negative charge to the positive charge. The SI unit of dipole moment is coulomb meters. The electric lines of the electric lines of force are open lines. They always start from positive charge and terminate onto the negative charge. Means they form the closed loops. Here we are observing in the figure that from positive charge to the negative charge, we find out that closed loops are there. And the positive charges not only in the form of curved lines, it is also the parallel plates to the constant. If consider that the two plates of positive charge and the negative charge, they are closer and spaced and oppositely charged are forming from positive charge to the negative charge. So field lines indicate the in the direction of the field and the field is tangent to the line. The magnitude of the field is proportional to the density of the lines. Field lines start on positive charge and end on negative charge. The number is proportional to of the charges. Means some lines of force conditions. So, no two electric lines or force meet each other or intersect each other. If they are to intersect at any point, and at that point the electric field should have two different directions, which is not possible. Here we are getting a point that they are perpendicular or they may not intersect, just be they are parallel. And electric lines of force will be always normal to each other of the charged conductor under static conditions. And electric lines of force are open lines. This always start from positive charge and terminate on a negative point charge. On the other hand, the magnetic lines of force are closed loops. And electric lines of force are crowded whether the field is strong and sparse where the field is relatively weak. Electric lines of force has no physical existence. They are just imaginary lines. In a charge free region, electric field lines can be taken to be continuous curves without any breaks. And here the dipole moment of the above electric dipole is the product of magnitude of charge q and the distance between the charges 2L. P is equals to charge q into 2L. The electric dipole moment is a vector quantity. The atom consisting of positive charges and negative charges is not a dipole because the center of positive charges and the negative charges of positive and the center of negative charges coincide with each other. That means 2L is equals to 0. Therefore, its dipole moment is 0. But when an atom is kept in an electric field, it means It becomes the dipole moment due to the positive and negative charge centers are displaced relative to each other. And magnitude of here we can know that the electric lines of force for an isolated positive point charge, an isolated negative point charge, two equal and opposite point charges, two equal positive point charges, field pattern of a positively charged conducting plane. So in this in these figures we are we can see that the positive charge is forming a closed loop from moving from positive charge to the negative charge. So here we are forming a closed loop. Not only that, we can here we can know that the point that the positive charges are moving out and the negative charges are inwards and the positive charges are outwards. So in a uniform electric field, the lines of force will be equidistant, parallel, straight lines and directed alike. So what we have seen are the keywords for the further derivations in the so these are the concepts. So as we have seen the fundamental concepts of charge, so as we have seen that the fundamental concepts like charge, field, potential, current and all. So once as we know if these concepts very well, so further we will be ready to move forward and into more advanced subjects in your specific field of interest. First of all, the basic concepts like charge. So what are the charges, what are and how many types, and what are the positive charges, what are the negative charges, what is the field, what is the electric field, what is the magnetic field, and like this the keywords like the fundamental concept, the basic concepts will give a further for a better knowledge for showing our interest towards the uh, further we can know many interesting concepts. Unceasing efforts during 19 electricity. Not only we just knowing these all these concepts of fundamentals will make you to get through a knowledge of finding many interesting things. By these basic concepts only we can know how the many derivations are occurred like Gauss law, Ampere's law, uh, uh, and Lenz's law, Maxwell's equations, and how these basic terms like charge, Q, positive Q, and the test charge, why we are using the test charge, we can know everything by these concepts. So, thank you all for having this valuable time for listening this, and I'm sure that you will definitely get the concepts uh, further to these concepts easily, because as we are already known with the uh, concepts like the basic concepts, that means charge and field and these units and what mean by electrostatics and what are the static charges and how the charge transfers, that means positive, and how it gains and how it loses, and all these concepts will give a and what are insulators and how only in conductors it transfers, and what are the what charges will repel, and what charges will attract, and the history itself knows, gives why behind this effort, to know how it come from, means, and many laws like Coulomb's inverse law, electric field lines, quantization of charges, law of conservation of charges, additivity of charges, and what is electrons, and what is charges of electrons and protons, and force of attractions, and all these concepts and all these fundamental concepts will give you a better knowledge to research into the interesting projects. Thank you all.